So how do you qualify these investors? Because there's no point having these people and they say, yeah, I want to be an investor. Yes, I'm an investor. Yes, yes, yes. And then you get this great package, you'll get the deal for them and you present it to them and they're like, oh, I'm not ready. So you need to qualify these investors. So let's look at some qualifying tips on how we can do that. Have they got a credit file ready yet? If they haven't, you can tell them to go and get a credit file. There's certain agencies that they can use to make sure that they've got a credit file ready, so they will go through credit checking quite quickly, for them to be able to get a mortgage, or depending on which route that they take. So credit file is really important. Do they have the deposit ready if they're buying, if they're getting a mortgage? If they're doing a buy-to-let, for example, they need a 25% deposit. So are they liquid? Do they have this money? If they haven't got this money to invest in the property in this way, then it might be that you have to give them a different type of deal. Some of the deals you can do not require a mortgage or require heavy deposits. Those are explained in the program as well, how you can do that. You do need a bit of in-depth knowledge and knowing how to do that. But for example, if they are buying a property with a mortgage, they're going to need 25% deposit. And if they haven't got that deposit in place, they won't be able to do any business. So you need to make sure that they've got that mortgage in place, that deposit in place for the mortgage. AIP, MIP. AIP is an agreement in principle. MIP is mortgage in principle. So has the mortgage been granted for them? Are they eligible to get a mortgage? Because there's no point giving an investor a deal and he can't follow through, because if he can't follow through or she can't follow through, then you're not going to get paid as a deal source. So you won't be able to actually get your money from them. So it's very important that these things are in place. POF is proof of funds. Can they provide proof? Have they got the money in their account? Can they show you proof of funds to say that they've actually got this money available? A lot of people give it talk. Yeah, I've got this, I've got that, da 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 da. Then when it comes to the crunch, they haven't got the money. They can't actually produce the money to say that they've got proof of funds. When you're dealing with agents, the agents are going to ask you exactly the same thing. Do they have proof of funds to say that they've got the deposit ready, or if they're buying cash, they've got the cash ready? So these are other things that need to be ready to qualify investors. And do they have a solicitor in place? Do they have a solicitor that they've used before? If not, you can help them by recommending one from our team. We've got fast solicitors that we use that you can actually use and recommend for them to use as well. So do they have a solicitor in place? Once you have all these things in place, you're halfway there, because the buying process takes between 12 weeks and 16 weeks to go through. But if you have all of these things ticked, you can get through the process in about 12 weeks. If you don't, it could take 16 weeks. Sometimes it can take 18 to 24 weeks, and that's a long time to go through the process. So it's better you have things done proactively, and you have them done in advance, so that you can take them through the process quite quickly. In terms of you getting paid as a packager, you will give them what we call a 14-day cool-off period. That 14-day cool-off is for them to go and do their own due diligence. And then after that time, that money is actually, assigned, and it will go over from your holding account into your actual account, and it will become actually your fee. So there is a process, there is a way. It's got to be done properly, professionally, and you do it in such a way that the investor is happy and they will come back again, because we are looking at repeat business. We don't want to just do one-off business. We're in business for the long term. This is long term. I've been over 25 years doing business. You're in it for the long term. You don't want to sort of just get one investor today and tomorrow, it didn't go so well or whatever, or you just collected the money from them, and you look after them, serve them well, and they will come back and they'll recommend you to other investors because they had such a good experience in what you've done for them. So remember that. So let's look at a real case study. This is one of the deals that I did. I just took one of the deals because it's actually gone through and come out on the other side. So I just want to give you an idea of how we packaged it, this particular one. The different packages are, different deals are packaged differently, but I'll show you how we packaged this one. So we sent out a message. Just in, we've got one great below market value property. It's 2 flats on a freehold. I only buy flats if they're freehold. I don't get involved in leasehold. It's a whole long story. I just don't want to get involved in leasehold. One of the properties on my portfolio is a leasehold, and it's just giving me the most trouble. So you always have the one that gives you trouble. So I will tell people in advance, try to avoid leasehold unless you're you're 100% clear that it can, you know, everything's going to be fine. But personally, my own personal opinion, I stay away from leasehold. So freehold. So you've got freehold and it's 2 flats. Then how we said it is, we said the package is 1 2-bedroom flat and 1 3-bedroom flat, and it's based in Newcastle. The year it was built is 1920s. That's the square footage, 667 and 753. That's 2 different flats. One is a 1-bedroom, one is a 3-bedroom flat, and the other is a 2-bedroom flat. And both of them are on a freehold title. So the conditions, both of the flats are in good condition, so that the investor knows that once they've got these properties, they can rent them out immediately. It's a 9-minute commute drive from Newcastle Centre, so it's good for universities, hospitals, and different places of work. So it's well located. So, you know, investors like that. Both flats are let with established working tenants. So this is another cherry on the top, because the flats are already let. So they're let out already. So it's a no-brainer for the investor. The investor says, oh, right, great. So the flats are let out already. There's already management in place. All I have to do is get a mortgage, and then, you know, it's good to go. I don't have to do anything. It's in good condition already, and it's already let, so there's nothing to do. The price is 122K. So the price was like, oh my gosh, 2 flats for 122,000. It's a no-brainer. By the time they work it out, the return on investment is, you know, they're very, very happy, ecstatic, because it's a really good deal. And then you package, and that one is packaged and sold at £2,995. Now that particular deal, I'd probably sell it for about 5,000 now. But then I'd done it for 2,995. I sent this out to my list, and within, I think it was about 30 minutes, I sold this deal. So it really isn't that difficult. If you can find a deal, you package the deal properly, you do your due diligence properly, people will pay. They will pay you for that deal. So that's a case study. So let's move on.